We all know that ball valves are not only dirty valves, but also take a lot of wear and abuse just by how they function. Usually with these things, we look at our Teflon seats. We know that Teflon is soft, and after cycle times of tens of thousands of cycles, they might wear down. You might see leaks coming through from one side to the other. The great thing is Plast-O-Matic has a solution for you. We have our seal kits, where you can keep the plastic of the body of the ball valve and just replace the seals right in this little handy kit that you have here. So let's walk through of how to replace a seal kit with a standard 1-inch ball valve. First off, you're going to have your ball valve in your system. We want to make sure that the ball valve is closed before we start operating. Now remember, once you take this guy off, there might be some liquids in your system. As you can see right here, I have some water still in the sight guard. So right now we just have a bucket to capture any sort of material that might be coming out of the ball valve. First, you're going to want to loosen your union nuts. Right here, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. As it starts to come off, take this guy out. And right now we have a ball valve cartridge. So from here, we can open up the valve. There's going to be some additional material inside of there. Make sure to cycle this a little bit so you get the additional media that's in between the ball volume that's in between the seats. So, in a standard ball valve, you're going to have a couple of different things. First, you're going to put it in the open position, and then if you just push the one side of the seat, see here, the guy will come out, and we also push out this side of the seat as well. Make sure that you don't lose the trunnion inside of the ball valve, which is this bottom piece, through, and then remove the stem. So once we remove the handle, we can also get to the stem. Push down directly on the stem once the body is vacated of all the additional parts, and you have this come out. So each seal kit comes with all you need to replace every seal on your ball valve. We have the outer seals for our sliding seats, which you can see right here. We have our face seals that interact with our union ends, which you can see right here. We have both our PTFE seats and the O-ring backing to energize that PTFE seat. These O-rings go into this section. There's just a seat. And then we also have everything in the stem, from our 360-degree PTFE washer to both stem seals on top. Now, we also have our instruction manual as well that comes with every seal kit. So, what do we do from here? So right now we have our two seats, the two sliding seats, a stem, we have our ball, our trunnion, and we have our cartridge with our handle. So with each guy, we're going to take off the seals that are already there. So with the PTFE seats, we can just easily take these guys off. Let me get this guy right there. And we're going to put these over to the side so we don't get them confused with the new one. We have our inner seals into there. We're going to just remove these. Sometimes you can just give it a nice little knock and it'll fall right out. But sometimes when there's media, it will just start to stick there just because of the capillary action of the media. What we like to use is a beaver tail burnisher. It's essentially what dentists use to kind of get out of our seal kits, or to get out our seals rather. Now the important thing is that you can use other tools to kind of get this guy out, as long as you don't mar any of your sealing surfaces. At this point, it's this outer ring here. For this guy, as I take this guy off, for the outer seal, you don't want to mar this inner diameter. And for this face seal, you don't want to mar this guy right here. If you start introducing scratches or nicks, what can happen is that it gives the media a really nice place to leave the valve, and then your seals are no longer working because that plastic now is scratched and nicked and allowing that to go through. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with this other side. then for the stem, we like to go from the bottom up here. I'm going to take this bottom one. I'm going to work up the seal. The reason why we do when we remove these seals from the bottom up is because now we can, if you go from the top first, you'll have your bottom O-ring fall into that extra slot. Now for the stem, we don't want to mar this inner diameter or this inner diameter. And the PTFE sheet or PTFE washer should just fall right off. So again, we want to keep these to the side. These are no longer good for the seals. So now we have everything down to its basic bare plastic components. So what we're going to do first, we're going to take our seat. We'll take him over there. You can kind of see that we have a nice little shelf to kind of start your O-ring and just work it in. It's okay to give it a little bit of a stretch to go right through. We're going to take our compression seals. We're going to put it on the side that is the most flat. You'll see on the other side with the PTFE there's another additional shelf. So we're going to go on the outside here, put these guys flush. It's a tight squeeze, and we do that so that it's an easier installation so the O-rings do not fall out when you're connecting your cartridge back to the ends. Flip this guy over. We're going to take our thinner O-ring, put this guy right here. Our PTFE seats are nice because they're also symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which orientation you put it in. All you have to do is just make sure it's secured down. So there's our seats. We're going to do the same thing with our stem. We'll go right over. It's going to start with the top. Actually, we're going to take that again. So we're going to take our stem. We're going to start with our PTFE seat, or PTFE washer, sorry. We're going to put it right on over. It's going to stretch a little bit over that, which is okay. Get it around our, there. Get it past our last seal right on the bottom. So now we have our PTFE washer right down on the bottom there. And then again, we're just going to move on with our seals. It's important to know that if you put on your seals before your PTFE washer, the inner diameter of the PTFE washer is very close to the outer diameter of the stem, so the O-rings are going to block you from doing that. We're going to take our second O-ring, and because our top O-ring is already installed, it's just going to kind of roll right over and put it right there. And make sure that this guy is nice and flat. So right now we have our stem fully converted with our seal kit, and we have our two seats with everything already pre-installed. So now we're going to take our cartridge, we're going to take our ball, and take our trunnion. We're going to make sure that our trunnion is lined up here, as well as take in our stem seal. What we like to do here is we have a silicone lubrication for our PVC and CPVC ball valves. This is a PVC ball valve that I have right in front of me for easier installation of the seals and the seal kit. Because these are all piston seals going into the ball valve, it makes it for an easier installation. If you don't have a silicone lubrication, we also have, you can get some nice petroleum jelly, Vaseline, what have you. You have that on hand. That can also be good for lubrication as well. Also, feel free to try without lubrication if you do not want that for your particular application. So right there, I'm going to take my stem. I just took some of my petroleum jelly, put it around. It's now lubricated. Take this. I'm going to make sure that my PTFE seat doesn't jam up. I'm just going to slowly push it right through. I want to check here to make sure that my seat did not jam up, or my washer, sorry. We're okay. I don't see anything on the other sides. And I'm just going to push it right through, and now I have my stem reattached. And we can see it right through there. So what's important is that our trunnion and our ball are lined back up. Typically what I like to do is to already preset a seat. I'm going to lube this piston seal right here, the outer O-ring. Place it down, take my guy, push it right through, and take my ball valve, and now it's easily set from that point on with the trunnion and the stem. Now the great thing is having that seat back there is to make sure that the ball doesn't fall all the way through, which could happen, and then you'd have to retry again from that point on. But with the seat back behind it, you're okay. I'm going to lube up my other floating seat, put it back down. Forgot to close it. Close our ball valve, because otherwise you'll have that situation that just happened. That way now the trunnion and the stem are now locking that ball valve into place. You'll see your full trunnion system at work here. Take that guy, push it down again. Now we have a cartridge with fully replaced seals. Take your handle, make sure you follow that locking tab and put it into the groove space that's right here. Give a nice push down. Make sure it's opening and closing. From here, you return your ball valve all the way to your system. Reattach your union nuts. Hand tight, then we'll take a cord turn with a strap wrench right afterward. And now your ball valve is completely able to be reused. It's going to give you that same exact full cycle life that you had previously. And all you had to do was just take the 5 minutes to replace the seal kit, and you essentially have a brand new valve. Now, as a slight aside, an addendum, if you will, with our PVC and CPVC, we like to use a silicone lubrication as we put these guys together. For our polypro and PVDF ball valves, we only use a slight alcohol concentration of isopropyl alcohol to lubricate the O-rings to put them in. The great thing is now for those sorts of systems that require that ultra clean applications that polypro and PVDF usually go into, you don't have any lubrication to worry about. However, that does make the seals harder to install. For that reason, sometimes it's recommended not to use a seal kit and just get a brand new valve, because we do use hydraulic presses for that application to install these seats into the ball valves here in the factory for polypro and PVDF. However, if your application doesn't require that, feel free to use whatever lubrication that you deem fit for your application and process.